Alright, so I think it's been about a week since the challenge started, and I thought since I see a lot of people asking for help and the strat help, I decided to just make a tutorial on like basically the current route and everything. So first thing, we're just gonna talk about the auto splitter. Pretty easy. So just come up here and live split, edit splits, type in escape from Lavender town or island, put in any percent, and then right here we should get a little auto split thing. You just want to click activate, go to your settings, and these are the splits I use. They're not the only splits, obviously. The ones used in the current route are up until the finish ship tutorial, and then we want to do get first mask alternate split instead of this one, and then it's enter extraterrestrial colony, and then just basically anything past that, and then you just want to create splits based on how many splits you checked up. I should also mention the experimental loader mover, which right now I guess it's just a tiny bit buggy, but it basically removes the loads sooner than what the normal load remover does. But like I said, it's a little buggy, so I don't know if you want to use that, you can. I don't think it really changes that much though. I'm not sure. And the speedrun requires you to cap your frames at 60. So what you can do is download this cool thing. Cool is a word I'm using very loosely, but it's called River Tuner. There'll obviously be a link in the description, and basically what River Tuner does is it just caps your frames. You're gonna want to use global instead of adding escape from Lavender Island because it usually just doesn't work. You want to put your frame limit at 60, turn show on screen display and show on statistics, and what that should do is just cap your frames and have your little FPS show up in the top left here. This is also something that was allowed. So what you can do is have your wheel up and wheel down be set to right click and left click, and that will let you skip through dialogue so much faster than normal. You can also use macros for that, but I don't actually know how to set up those macros, so I'm just not going to tell you how. I'm sure there's a tutorial somewhere, but with that you can just start the speedrun as normal. Alright, so if you set down your scroll wheel to right click and left click like I did, you can just move it either direction and should skip the whole dialogue, or you can use your macro to skip that, but either way you just want to walk up forward here. Here what I like to do is hold down left click and just have my scroll wheel keep going down so that it immediately starts the talking as soon as possible. There's also another thing you can do where the moment you talk you want to also jump, and that should allow you to move in the cutscene. Let me see if I can just do it. Yeah, can get you closer to the wall, but you can't go up the stairs because the barrier doesn't go away until after the cutscene. Either way, you want to just go up the stairs and into the warden's office over here, watch him beat his meat, and do what I did earlier, just hold down left click and keep scroll wheel down, and then it should just immediately activate as soon as you look at him. You pick up this coin. The thing about the coin is you gotta be a little careful, because sometimes if you're like standing a little too far off to the left, you can actually get lifted up by the coin and you won't pick it up until you just move around like this, which is kind of weird, but either way. Once you pick it up, you just want to walk out the door and come back down the stairs. Here, what you're gonna want to do is hold down forward and jump as soon as you hit the arm so that you can like push yourself up against the door over here. So let me just show you. Like that. It should push up against the door, and once you're free you can just walk forward. During this loading screen I hold down right and I spam space so that in the first possible frame I can just jump and just go around this tree, which is slightly faster than normal, I'm pretty sure. Either way, you just want to make your way up here, go around this little circle, do not touch that thing, and then just go up these stairs and talk to a Claude over here. That's not his name, I just call him that. Come down here, jump over these trees and then just jump down here and open up the door. It's pretty simple stuff. Here what you want to do is just talk to Houdini over here and then just keep going straight. Just keep going straight until you reach this door and you can just go in. The moment you load in, you want to double tap escape because it lets you start talking to this guy as soon as possible. Now what happens next is a little hard to explain because it happens so fast, but what we're going to do is we're going to land back down on the ground. We're going to want to back up and then just go right back into him and start his dialogue, but don't finish it. Once you see the animation start playing with the guy's face in front of your screen, that's when you want to finish his dialogue and then just hold right. So let me show you that. Back up, start his dialogue, finish it, and then just hold right. And that'll let you skip that entire little section there before the animation is finished. Of course, if you do it faster, it'll happen much faster. You don't have to go back like I do. I just do it because if I don't, sometimes it can just glitch out and not actually work. And you want to talk to him again and you'll get him here. You just want to come down here, fly obviously to make it faster, and then just talk to him again. And after you click yes I'm sure, you're going to want to escape and then restart the level. And then just do basically everything I showed you in the beginning. And the second time around, you don't have to restart the level. You can just do it. Here you're going to want to come down here, go over these tents, and make your way over to this quiz cloud over here. Here, there's nothing special. You just want to spam through it as fast as you can. Now you're going to want to go around this umbrella and just come all the way down there to that, I guess, reindeer it is. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to finish the dialogue as you're walking into him so that the moment you walk into him, you can immediately grab the mask. Or else it might glitch out and it won't like let you grab it. You have to just like move around until you do. Let me just try to do it. Yeah, like that. And after you grab the mask, you just reset the level. Once you load back in, you're gonna want to hold up and left for like about a second, and then hold down just up for about 2 seconds. And that should get you at least near this container barrel thing. Next, you're gonna want to wait till this barrel goes up to its peak, and then you're gonna want to push it from its left side. Now here, you can either choose to like stand in the middle and like aim around here, or you can choose to stand more to the right and aim around here. Whichever one, it doesn't really matter too much. Now what we're going to do is perform a barrel launch. So you're just going to want to jump and tap shift, and that should launch you. But sometimes you land on top of it, to which you can just like walk off, and that should launch you anyways. So let me just show you real quick. Like that. You can get a good launch, as you can see. That was actually a pretty decent launch. Or more like trash, I don't know. But whatever launch you get, you want to make your way over to this corner. To this little watchtower in the corner over here. Now this is probably the biggest run killer of the entire game. And currently there's a little debate as to whether this is going to be allowed. So in the resource dev, there's this little EFLI toolkit that's supposed to be used just for practice. But some people are using it to actually cheat their runs. Because it's not really like detectable whether or not someone's using it. I'm going to show you it just in case for some reason they decide to allow it. But of course you don't want to, as of now, you don't want to use this at all. So what we're going to do is just set this to 3. Set this size, Viagra pill size to 3, because normally it's a random value how big whatever you shoot at will get. So you see that? Whatever those little blue things touch, they make bigger. And it's usually a random value, but if you set it to 3, it's always going to be 3, obviously, and that helps you clip a lot faster or a lot easier. So what we're going to want to do, we're going to be in first person and then push up against this wall. Look down. There isn't necessarily a lineup. You can try to aim the little middle of your mouse around here, but it's not really necessary. You can do it about anywhere. And then you're going to pill, and immediately after you pill, you're going to want to jump, and that should clip you through. As you can see, I didn't get it here because even with 3, it's still random. And as you can see, that time it worked. Yeah, of course, I was using a Viagra pill size effect of 3. But in a real run, you're not supposed to use this at all. This is only for practice. Of course, it's going to be a lot harder when you don't have something like this on. The reason people can't detect it is because even if you close it, it's still affecting the game. So right now, even if I were to close this, the pill size will always be 3 no matter what. Which is why if you're going to use this to practice, you're going to always want to uncheck this box and then close it. Or restart your game after you close it, whichever one works. Anyways, after that clip, we just want to make our way over here. I should also mention, there are a lot of setups for that little tower thing that I did. I just showed you what I found works best for me. Now we're just going to want to come in here. And now we're in the 2 butts extraterrestrial colony. And here we're going to do another launch, actually. Like I said, my values are still set at 3, so my poles will always be the biggest they can be. But what you're just going to want to do is keep shooting at these poles until you get the biggest pole possible. Sometimes it'll be small, sometimes it'll be big. Like I said, RNG. Once you have the biggest pole possible, you want to first make sure it's actually standing on the ground. As you can see here, sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate. You can just move on to the next one. Once it's on the ground, it doesn't really matter which way it's facing, but it'd be better if it's not facing up like this. Regardless, it'll still work. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to like aim around here so that your mouse will land over this whenever you jump. After you jump, you're going to want to pill twice and then just walk forward, and that should launch you up. So let me just show you. And right there. That's as consistent as the launches can get. There's no more consistency than that. You technically don't have to jump and pill, but more likely than not, this is what's gonna happen. You're not gonna launch anywhere. And as you can see, that fell through the floor. Regardless of where it launches, you just want to land up here. Now, around this area over here, there's a little opening in the sky barrier, as you can see there. There's a little opening, and we're just gonna want to fly into it and around it. Alright, let me show you real quick. And boom, and just want to fly around. We should get up here. See, there's a little tiny opening right here. And then we just want to just fly over to this little thing. Here we're just going to want to scroll wheel down, or just to skip the dialogue as fast as you can, or whatever your macro might be. After this, you're going to want to hold down back and then just start flying towards that weird green alien over there. You can technically launch yourself if you really want to, but it might be safer not to. Anyways, once you make it over to this little green goblin thing, you're going to want to stand on this green pad around this little black line right here. The one that's furthest from the center. You want to stand right there. You have a little bit of wiggle room. It could be anywhere in between, but it has to be as close to this as possible. And what that should do is pick up your urn immediately after the hand grabs down, and you can just start walking as soon as possible, and you skip like a really big cutscene. So there's an experimental launch over here that we can do after we give them the urn. Don't mind my shirt, but we just push this barrel back like we did earlier, jump on top of it, and then just like walk off as it's going back. I didn't do it right, obviously, but that it's a little hard, it's a little tricky. I'm not sure how the guy did it in general, but nobody really does this because it obviously isn't consistent like the other ones are. I'm gonna show you this guy's clip real quick. If you do it correctly, somehow, you can obviously see you can get yourself to launch like this. Though of course this is really experimental. Nobody really does this as of right now because I mean, I think it should be obvious why nobody does it. Obviously, if you don't want to do any of that, you can just keep flying forward until you reach Claude over here. There's a little tiny skip you can do where the moment you activate, you also jump at the same time. I'm gonna see if I can get it here. Yeah, I got it. And if you do that, you can move during the cutscene, which you normally wouldn't be able to do, and pick up this thing early. But either way, you just want to pick it up, come all the way up here. You can do the same thing that I just did down there. I missed it, but you know. And pick up this mushroom and just make your way over to this little booth over here. And then you can get high with Claude over here. And then there's just a cutscene they can't really skip. It just plays out. Alright, here in this boss fight, there are a couple things you can do. You can choose to play at this super far away third person thing. Or if you just press shift once, you'll immediately like just go back into the normal third person. Now there's this little fast shooting thing you can do that I'm gonna show you. However, be really careful because sometimes this can literally break the game. By that I mean the boss will not die no matter what. So let me show you. You can come up to these little things. Once you stand on it, just spam shift and it'll shoot all three. And you can just do that to all of them. And it shoots a lot faster and obviously kills them faster. Okay, so I got lucky. I actually killed the boss. However, sometimes it'll drop him down to the 1 HP and it won't kill him because you'll run out of balls. As weird as that sounded. Either way, you want to just kill the boss either normally or the way I just did it. And then you're going to want to stand around here and just fly into this little butt thing. And just don't let go of shift. Just keep flying forward. So let me show you. Just keep holding forward and don't let go of anything. Just keep flying. And you'll just be walking forward. You want to obviously move up a little bit so you can so you get to go around that fence over there. But regardless, you just want to make your way to Claude over here and then just pass this little cutscene. Alright, once you're landing, you can hold down up and left to get closer to this guy much sooner. And then you just skip through his dialogue. You can move before you start the cutscene and get closer, but I don't suggest you do that because if you do that, then the game might glitch out a little bit. But regardless, you just want to walk into it and he should pick you up. After he puts you in this little bottle, you're just going to spawn back in the prison and you're just going to want to skip dialogue again. Here you just make your way back up these stairs to the warden's office and then just jump on the table and that should be the end of the run. Right here. And yeah, the auto splitter should split when it's over. As you can see, it's a little bit broke my auto split because technically it was the same level as the first level, but yeah. I should also mention as of right now, you have to show whatever like changes you've made to your scroll wheel or any macros you use right after you finish with the run so that it actually validates and gets on the leaderboard. Other than that, as of now, there's not much else. Obviously, there's the Discord that you can join where you can either talk in general chat like a weirdo. You could see what other people are looking into, trying to do. Or there's a channel with a bunch of new skips or anything just that was found lately. Some of these obviously aren't necessarily important or they're just more of like theories. There are obviously a lot here and there are a lot to go through, which is why I made this video so you can know the ones that everyone's using as of now. But yeah, that's all.